Brittany Murphy's tragic death left many fans wondering how a promising young actress could have died so suddenly. The strange circumstances continue to raise questions to this day, and there's more to the story than you might have heard. Brittany Murphy was raised by her mother, Sharon, after her father was sentenced to 12 years in prison on drug charges. Murphy grew up in Edison, New Jersey, but she convinced her mom to move to Los Angeles before she started high school. After just 4 years in Hollywood, Murphy was cast in Clueless, which was her big break. The coming-of-age teen comedy was a major critical and commercial hit. Murphy received rave reviews for her role.
Be seeing ya.
Yeah, I hope not sporadically.
After the release of Clueless, Murphy had a lot of momentum in her career, but she actually had to take a brief break from acting because her mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Since it was just the two of them during Murphy's childhood, they had a very close bond. Murphy spoke about her relationship with her mother in a 2004 interview with People, saying, "We're extremely close, extraordinarily close. To say best friends would be to diminish our relationship. She and her mom often referred to each other as soulmates, so the cancer diagnosis was understandably a major blow for the up-and-coming actress." Following the release of Clueless and several other hit movies, Murphy saw massive success in the early 2000s. She continued to command the screen in films including 8 Mile, Uptown Girls, and Just Married. For many years, Murphy was viewed as America's sweetheart, but the press seemed to turn on her in the mid-2000s. During that time, many media outlets reported that Murphy was difficult to work with. In 2004, SF Gate even stated she exhibited erratic behavior during the press tour for Uptown Girls, such as rubbing an interviewer's hand and singing instead of answering questions. The incident that drew the most concern occurred when Murphy reportedly covered her face with a napkin while lying down during a press conference, saying she was tired of being looked at. At the time, Murphy's representatives tried to explain her behavior by claiming she was a friendly person. They told SF Gate, "Brittany's just a really sweet person. She's an outgoing person. She's not one of those people who sits there cold in a chair."
I'm a happy type person. I smile a lot.
On top of reports of her erratic behavior, rumors also swirled that Murphy had an eating disorder. Part of the reason she was viewed as such a refreshing new face in Hollywood after the release of Clueless is that she didn't really look like the typical movie star of the day. However, that changed in the early 2000s. As her stardom grew, Murphy decided to dye her hair blonde and seemed to lose weight, possibly hoping that it would help her get cast in more prominent movies. At several public appearances during this time, Murphy looked noticeably thinner than she had when she first emerged on the scene. This caused many media outlets to suggest she may have an eating disorder such as anorexia or bulimia. People also suggested that the actress may have been abusing drugs to lose weight. Even though Murphy was always quick to deny those allegations, it has never been confirmed that Murphy struggled with an eating disorder, but it's worth noting that a source once told People that her mother put pressure on her to look thin. The source claimed she was obsessed with her looking slim. Murphy married British screenwriter Simon Monjack in 2007, just months after the two started dating. In the 2021 docuseries What Happened, Brittany Murphy, Murphy's King of the Hill co-star Kathy Najimy claimed she was concerned by how quickly her relationship with Monjack progressed. Najimy said in the doc,
"She wanted to marry him, and I said, honey, it's not been long enough." I think we were all sort of saying the same thing.
Filmmaker Allison Burnett also tried to warn Murphy that Monjack was a compulsive liar. In the doc, Burnett described Monjack as a bottom-feeding sociopath and said she knew he was a liar from the moment he claimed to have survived terminal brain cancer. However, when Burnett tried to contact Murphy's team, she was reportedly told that Murphy's manager had been fired after trying to warn her about Monjack. Supposedly, Monjack isolated Murphy from some of her closest friends once they were married. By most accounts, Murphy became a completely different person after the marriage, suggesting he was a negative influence on her.
Hollywood is a village, and once you upset the villagers, they talk, and they gossip, and they rumor, and they have blood on their hands.
Once they started dating, Monjack reportedly told Murphy he would revive her career, but his presence seemed to only bring her misfortune. Page 6 reported in 2008 that Murphy was allegedly creating problems on the set of Across the Hall. One insider claimed, "She's extremely difficult. When she gets to the set, it comes to a grinding halt. She's so hot and cold, you never know." Around this time, Murphy was reportedly fired from the horror movie The Caller during the first week of shooting. According to reports, Murphy was not at fault though. Monjack's disruptive behavior was. Even though her husband was the problem, not her, Warner Brothers no longer wanted Murphy to reprise her role as Gloria in Happy Feet 2 either.
So, which way, Twinkle Toes?
In 2009, Murphy was reportedly in contention to play the lead role in Black Swan, which could have been a major comeback. However, the role ultimately went to Natalie Portman, who won the Best Actress Oscar for it. Overall, it's clear that practically nothing went well in Murphy's career after she married Monjack. Murphy was reportedly experiencing flu-like symptoms for several weeks before her death. On December 20th, 2009, she was found unresponsive in her bathroom. The actress was transported to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, but was pronounced dead soon after. Since Murphy's sickness was left untreated for multiple weeks, it eventually developed into severe pneumonia.
If she had gotten to a hospital earlier enough, you can detect a pneumonia on the chest x-ray. It's very easy.
In Murphy's autopsy, pneumonia was listed as the official cause of death. Additionally, iron deficiency anemia and multiple drug intoxication from over-the-counter medical prescriptions were listed as contributing factors. Brittany Murphy's death was so sudden and shocking that many fans began coming up with outlandish theories to explain it. One theory was that Monjack may have killed her.
How you holding up?
I don't think I am.
This theory became even more plausible when Monjack initially claimed he didn't want medical examiners to perform an autopsy. However, a few days after Murphy's death, he changed his mind, stating in an interview with People, "My initial reaction to the autopsy was, they're going to cut her open. I couldn't bear it. That would break her mother. But we realized we needed to know. I look forward to getting the results."
I woke up the morning after my wife died and there was a thing saying murderer.
Calling you a murderer?
Yeah, that I murdered my wife.
Not long after Murphy died, Monjack launched the Brittany Murphy Foundation, which encouraged donors to pledge up to $10,000. Unsurprisingly, this was met with criticism and further fueled theories that Monjack wanted to profit off his wife's death. Ultimately, Monjack didn't go through with starting the foundation. Since Murphy's autopsy revealed that the main causes of death were pneumonia and anemia, the LA County Coroner Assistant Chief Ed Winter told People that Monjack was never considered a suspect. Just because the LAPD never considered Monjack a suspect doesn't mean he was cleared in the eyes of Murphy's fans. Theories even suggested that Monjack and Murphy's mom Sharon may have conspired to murder her. Many people were perplexed when the two of them held hands and stared longingly into each other's eyes in a January 2010 photo shoot. A TMZ report also indicated that Monjack and Sharon were sleeping in the same bed in Brittany's Los Angeles mansion. The report doesn't suggest there was sexual contact between the two, but this detail raised the eyebrows of many fans. Sharon responded to the rumors of a romance between her and Monjack in an interview with People months after her daughter's death, saying, "That's disgusting. We're close friends and we're family. It's an awful and ridiculous thing to say." Monjack faced a lot of criticism after Brittany Murphy's death, but he also passed away just 5 months later. On May 23, 2010, Sharon found Monjack unresponsive in their home and called 911. Monjack was pronounced dead at the scene, and the coroner later claimed that the causes of his death were pneumonia and anemia, just like Murphy. Naturally, this raised a lot of questions. Following Monjack's death, it was suspected that mold may have played a factor in both his and Murphy's illnesses. However, according to the assistant coroner, Ed Winter, mold wasn't present in their toxology reports. Despite this, Winter agreed that there was something strange about Monjack and Murphy's eerily similar deaths. Winter told ABC News, "It is unusual to have two people die of similar circumstances with pneumonia. We've been looking at it and saying, something isn't right." Even after getting out of prison, Murphy's father, Angelo Bertolotti, didn't play a major role in her life. However, Bertolotti insisted that he had a healthy and normal relationship with his daughter when she was an adult, which led him to eventually speak out about the mysterious cause of her death. At one point, Bertolotti suggested Sharon may have killed both Murphy and Monjack. He told the Examiner in 2014, "Let her explain why she had my daughter execute a will, leaving everything to her mother, and specifically excluding Simon. Out of 3 people living together in the same house, only one survives and benefits financially." In 2014, Bertolotti sued the coroner's office and the Los Angeles Police Department for determining the wrong cause of death. Throughout the 2010s, he had a different theory on how Brittany could have died.
I feel she was poisoned. There's no question about that. And I feel she was murdered.
However, due to his failing health, he gave up his investigation into his daughter's death in 2017, claiming he had lost hope. Bertolotti died in 2019 at the age of 92.